podcasthero.com.
Welcome to The Daily Quote, a podcast designed to kickstart your day in a positive way. I'm your host, Andrew McGivern, for February 18th. Now, if you're looking for an unusual reason to celebrate, today is Cow Milked While Flying in an Airplane Day. And yes, that's a real thing. On this day in 1930, a cow named Elm Farm Ollie became the first bovine to fly in an airplane. But they didn't stop there. No, they decided to milk her mid-flight because apparently simply flying a cow wasn't quite groundbreaking enough. The milk was even bottled and parachuted down to spectators, proving once and for all that when humans get creative, absolutely anything is possible, even airborne dairy delivery. So, in the spirit of doing something bold, unconventional, and maybe even a little ridiculous, today's quote comes from Seth Godin. Seth Godin once said, "If it scares you, it might be a good thing to try." Now, I'm not saying you should immediately go find a cow in an airplane, but there's something to be said for stepping outside your comfort zone. The best ideas, the ones that change industries, push boundaries, or just make life more interesting, usually start with someone taking a risk. Think about it. At some point, someone had to suggest milking a cow in an airplane. I'd like to imagine the conversation went something like, "Should we do this? That sounds crazy." Exactly. Let's go for it. And that's the kind of thinking that leads to innovation. Sure, sometimes it leads to bizarre aviation history, but other times it leads to groundbreaking ideas, new opportunities, or personal growth. So, if there's something you've been putting off because it feels scary or outside the norm, maybe that's exactly why you should give it a shot. And this may seem like a pointless idea, milking a cow mid-flight. Why would they do that? Well, because it got a lot of attention, and it was a great marketing stunt for the Ford tri-motor aircraft that had only just begun shipping after its production began in 1925. So yeah, it was a great marketing idea, I suppose. I mean, it is still being covered on the Daily Quote podcast 95 years later. That's it for today's episode. If you enjoyed this one, don't forget to follow the Daily Quote for more inspiration, more history, and occasionally stories about cows defying gravity and milk being dropped down to earth in parachutes. I'll be back tomorrow. Same pod time, same pod station, with another Daily Quote.